Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Laura Canfield Show. Thank you so much for being here. And my good friend Audrey Light Language is here with us today. Yay. And I'm excited because we're going to be talking about all sorts of different things, as well as, because we're on video, Audrey's going to show some new products that she has that she's been creating, which I think is so much fun and so exciting. And today we're actually talking about, whoops. We're not talking about that. Don't go by by the topic that's on the live page, but we are talking about stepping into your sovereignty and divine birthright. And as we, have this conversation today, we're going to be talking about, what it's like to be in your power, what it's like to be the sovereign you. And, this is an opportunity for all of us to work together with Audrey, who is a soul architect, to assist us so that we can become architects of our own designs instead of being at the hands of others, right? And Audrey is a soul architect and energy engineer, and she helps you to create a path of your own by stepping into your sovereignty and divine birthright. So the work Audrey does is it frees you from the old energy entanglements and brings in upgrades of your vibratory field to be in alignment with the new frequencies which the new creation exists upon. And so this work helps with your physical embodiment, but also works for you at the true level of you that you are, your soul. And so it helps you as you travel through existence to be in alignment with the new higher octaves that existence is playing out instead of being stuck in the old paradigms and being out of alignment. And so there's no treasure more valuable than your true essence, and that is your soul. So we're so excited that Audrey's back with us again. Audrey's been with us many, many times. We have so much fun. It's always high vibration, high energy, high integrity. And Audrey normally brings in guides and masters in her team, and just channeling and light language and God knows what. So and channeling of the Akash, and so much can come through in our conversation. So thank you so much for being here, Audrey, and welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for the invitation to be back with you and your beautiful audience. Thank you so much. Yes, and rewriting of the Akash, which is such a special thing.
Yes.
Blessed whoever reads it, but we want to not go from that potential that was, right, of the old recipes, agreements, and such, right? But to rewrite for the new coding, right, for those new potentials and hats to be upon. So that's why I rewrite the Akash rather than to read it. And yes, I'm so excited to be here with all of you because, when we speak of manifestation and abundance, right, everyone will come on board. Their ears perk up, abundance, manifestation, But the thing is, that's physical concentration, my work is about soul abundance, right? Manifestation at the soul level of you, which is what you are, not to be lost yet in a distraction, of manifestation, physicality, spirituality, which yet on some levels has been a distraction if people are perpetuating yet the same. We want this new creation, right? Which means to go forth to be re-educated in the truth of our beingness, right? In the power of that which we are. And any being that anyone works with, whether angel, galactic, master, and such, right? That being to express to you the truth of your beingness, to help you recall and remember that you are source in expression. I have a creator, a creation, whatever name you want to put to it,
Hello? Am I frozen? Robobo? Am I frozen? Audrey, is it me or is it you? Oh no. What happened to my internet? Yeah.
Foundation. No, they go forth. We lost you, Laura. I don't see you, but I'm sure you must still be there.
Yeah, I'm back.
So, yeah, there you are. So they, when you build something, you're in the foundation, right? They don't just sit and stir in the foundation. You know you have a strong foundation, and you go forth and build from there. And this is what we're doing, right? To remember that we are sparks of divinity and expression. Thusly, what can be more that one would want to manifest and have abundance in, right, than the soul essence of one's true being that they traveled through existence in? They're worried about physical manifestation. Yes, it's fun. We've come to play in that. But the thing is, when you are distracted by that, you're only in the physical but a moment. And then you find yourself, yes, at the hands of others' agendas or some lower vibration, what you've looped in life upon life, missing the opportunity, right, to have released of all that old stuff, generational, childhood, unconscious, subconscious, the loops of the energy holding us over and over again, to this opportunity that is given from creation, for them to jump on board, right, for soul manifestation, soul abundance, because that is what they travel through existence in, getting out of these loops and stagnation, to be a spark of divinity, moving forth, acclimated in alignment with the new, higher, beautiful potentials, to go forth to create something new and experience and express something new, So that's what we're doing. So if someone's ears are going to perk up to want to take part in a session of something, that is it, because that is where their true treasure lies, as they find themselves traveling through existence, and where they will find themselves, and as an empowered being, rather at the hands of all these other beings that may toss and turn them according to their own agenda, because the being doesn't understand and believe and recall and remember what they are, So in this way, this is so they can be standing in their power, in their remembrance. And any being who is going to come to them, yes, must work with them in that understanding and respect and honoring, rather than playing the game that those beings have been set forth from creation to play. Because those beings, so sorry guys, let me shut this off. Those beings are creator, expressing through those ways and means, because there only is creator, one being, and we are it in expression, right, playing through its creation. We sit in the void of the nothingness, the no thing, which is the all thing that is birthed forth from it. We are aspects of that. So all those other beings brought forth were set in place to assist us, creator creation, as we were playing and forgetting of ourselves, And so now it is time. They are stuck in the perimeters that they can only work within. Rest, watchers, galactics, angels, masters, Masters held the information for us while we were playing in forgetfulness, right, as a signpost for us along our way. Angels have very powerful beings, but still perimeters that they can only work within when we can have a child, have a job, do whatever we would like, right? That freedom of creation and expression that they do not have. And so this is why I'm saying galactics, the same type of thing, creation playing out on those levels, But we're here to recall what we are. So we close the book on the old, forgetting, experiment, and sleep, which has birthed forth a thing of a parasitic expression, which is now obsolete, And so you don't want to take part in that obsolete and that old anymore. No. Those things are parasitic because they only exist because they live off of our light, right? And all the worlds and things that they have built from that, living off of our life source that we are. So it's time. Put away, right? Close down that on the thing that is obsolete. Move forward in our evolutionary journey, right? To the new higher vibration, remembering what we are and creating from that place of remembrance, And that's a beautiful thing. So I'm here in embodiment to assist that. And thank you, Laura, for the opportunity to be here to share with everyone.
Oh, thank you, Audrey. And, and that's the thing. It's like right now, I think we're all being called to go within and focus on our soul consciousness and our soul essence, and sometimes that leads us on different paths, right? When we start to connect back to who we truly are, our essence, it takes us down different roads and different paths than we were in before. But what about for those of us who may be like, okay, I know I'm a soul, I get that. I know it in my being, I know it in my head, but still, I still have to function in this world. How do I function in this world as the soul being that I truly am? And,
well, the reason why is because of that forgetfulness and sleep that we entered into originally. It was because we are creator beings, right? We don't get sick, we don't die, right? We don't experience the lower expressions. But that thing that was devised by creation, the experiment, the game, however you want to put it, to
Mm-hmm.
go forth and play in the lower vibratory fields, because creation wants to know all that it is, all that it is not, and yet it is, right? Looking at a bigger picture of things, right? That's why when people speak about, oh, the value of shadow, right? And the value of walking through the forgetting and the dark and all that type of thing, that was so we could explore it. But what happened was, from that exploration birthed forth beingness that played so deeply in the forgetting that they can no longer sustain themselves from their connection to source. So they devised a way to eat off, maintain themselves, parasitic existence, right, off of other beings. This happened throughout creation, right? Beings that blew up worlds and such,
Mm-hmm.
right, to sustain themselves off the light of others. So we have this here also in our world. You know, the thing people don't like to talk about, it's under the covers, right? Under the carpet, pull the wool over their eyes. But it needs to be spoken of because it's a real thing, right? This forgetting, this parasitic expression that feeds and holds others, wiping their mind, life upon life, looping, right? Looping them. And you must learn your lessons. There are
Mm-hmm.
no lessons to learn, beautiful ones. These are experiences that you're walking through as part of creation. So you will know it from the taste, the touch, the breath of it, right? The smell of it, walking through it experientially to add to the conceptual knowing. And thusly, when you do that, you become to have a knowing of the thing, right? A deeper understanding and knowing from walking through it experientially to add to the concept.
Mm-hmm.
Thusly, where they took the trickery of lessons and to loop you over and over. That's not it. See the negative in that, right? You didn't do your lesson well.
Yeah.
See the positive in these expressions and experiences. There's nothing that could do wrong, right? You're adding to your knowing of it. That's a high energy, right? Way. So why this is happening to so many people is because they're being looped and looped and looped, right? Feed off of by these parasitic expressions, yes,
Mm-hmm.
which now has become obsolete, right? So to put a close on that, the value of it was written in the book of life. We now know what lurks there, right? We now know what we are if we have forgotten ourselves. We have created multiple things from forgetting. Now it is time to remember. This is why this is the recalling of creation for itself, the remembering, putting the member back on. So that's where we can go forth and create something new. So it takes the re-education, right? Re-education for people to look at the things they don't want to look at. But when we look at it, we can begin to see and know what was unseen, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we can collect back what was lost, right? By that seeing and that remembering and that recalling. So wouldn't everyone like to be part of a world where everyone in it is safe and well nourished, you know, rather than the king and the queen in the castle? All is well with me. Oh, all is well, maybe well with you. But what lurks outside the castle walls, right? A devastation to the civilization and the people, right? Plundered and such. No, that's not a good king or queen. A good king and queen knows that the outside the castle walls, all is well, right? With its creation. And that's what we're doing. So creation itself, when we travel through it, we don't have to worry about what parasitic thing and forgetting is going to lurk on us, you know, to eat us and sustain themselves off of our life source and force. No more of that. We're going to close the book on that. We're going to write the new. So when you travel through creation, it's the higher vibratory fields, the other thing obsolete. What happens to a thing that doesn't evolve? It is no more, right? So we are on the evolutionary path of this beautiful creation that is there. So we are in resonance with it. So our children, all of our civilization and all of creation can be whole, can be well, can be balanced, removing this parasitic thing that lurks through the body of creation that was birthed from forgetting. You know, those people are part of that. That's why ones like you, ones like the people listening, ones who can understand this and be it in their beingness, not love, unity, oneness. That's empty words. That's going to do nothing for anyone. You could speak all the love, unity, oneness you want. If it is not an expression of your beingness, the talk you're talking of, the walk that you walk, that's going to get you, right? And this work that comes in to help untangle everyone from the old energy, the old loops, the parasite that holds them, right? The forgetting and the unconscious, subconscious, generational lineages, childhood issues,
Mm-hmm.
the multiple aspects of themselves where things are occurring and at the same level because we're multidimensional beings. So you can't only work with you here, you have to work as a soul with all the other aspects of you to help clean and clear that up as well. There was so much eons of time that we got tangled in this. So one must have investment in their self, there, the soul abundance, right? And manifestation of, to spend some time to take avail of these opportunities to get them out of that, so they can then have the room and the space, right? Pouring the light back in, the DNA turned back on, right? Vibrating higher, their consciousness, right? Awoken truly, not in a distraction one of religion or spirituality. Bless both of them, but they have been used, right, by the parasitic expressions to manipulate and hold people, yet still even in the spirituality. So that's why it is so important to really wake up, right? Really understand what is at hand here. So we will make a new creation, not only for ourselves when we come back in embodiment, right, but for all the children and for all of creation, you know, to express through. How joyous will that be when we remember the magic that we are, you know? That'd be beautiful. Not this false magic and illusion, you know, and distractions and manipulations and lies and systems that were built to hold us down and dumb us down and keep us as the cattle and the sheep. No, now it is time. What is more important than taking back your sovereignty and your divine birthright as the spark of divinity, and to go forth and express and create in that means of being? Is it your physical, my love, my home, my job, yes, those things are important, but if you get lost in them and don't understand the bigger picture of things, you will only find yourself looping in the same, rather than this freedom,
absolutely, yeah,
power
absolutely,
that's being offered, right? Which is much more important of where you're going to find yourself as you travel through creation.
Wow, that's powerful. Thank you. Yeah. Whew.
Iseme tu tumasharapurum, yeri para sorova soromato, shelela soromatu so you all may hear, yes, see, right, get and understand this move of this perspective for you. We understand it's difficult to leave all the old, yes, that was so instilled, yes, but all of that that is being done, is that making a different world? Are the children safe? Are the people safe? Are you still not going through the same heartaches, right? Disease and no money and all these things that are happening, yes, which because we are being held down rather than given to us what is ours. And so this is why we want to have a new experience to be had, right? It takes people being saying no more of that, right? I understand now. I remember this is what we're going to be part of, right? And perpetuating that old has not brought that in. As beautiful as it is, right? It has not been able to escape, or that are not allowed to happen any longer, right? You see? So maintaining that and educating people in that, when people are hungry and know something is going on, and you're only perpetuating the same to them, you're maintaining that old, which did not change the system and did not have the power to change the system. You understand? So this is why we have to move to something else. We honor that, we have that, it's a firm foundation, but go forth, right? And build the new by these understandings, the new understanding and truths that are true, capital letter T, truth, that we are divinity in expression. Recall ourselves.
Right. Yes, absolutely. We are. And that's the thing. It's like, if we can remember that and focus on that first and foremost, then we might not get caught up so much in the day-to-day physical reality, right?
And the thing is also to realize, I always tell people, my clients around the world, try to look at it as a stage that's set, right? Costumes that are worn, stories in the stage, right? Like a Broadway play, right? So yes, you're in it, but also think about what that perspective is from behind the stage, right? Behind the curtains, right? Looking out on what is taking part, right? So you're not so taken down by the emotion of it, yeah? So you make a little distance from it. So yes, I'm experiencing it, but I'm also here, that witness of it, right? And that witnessing of it helps take you out of the high emotion of it, so you can balance and handle the situation better than being mowed down and taken down by the emotion of it, right? So you remember and realize, wait, I'm here experiencing this, right? So it's better like to take the reins, so to say, of the horse that can go crazy, right? But you're going to rein it in, right? Or the wheel on the ship that is going to be tossed and turned, right? You're holding that to take it to calmer sea, so to say, which would be energies, you know?
Yeah, awesome. Thank you. I was going to say, for those of you who may have written in comments or questions before, you might have to write them in again because they're gone now because I got kicked out. So if you want to type them in again, and so we are going to take some questions for sure, like we always do. So yeah, you can write them in the chat. You can hit, or you can raise your hand as well. Or when we do take questions, if you're feeling brave, you can just come on.
I saw quickly, someone said, Cryon said the government is recognizing fairies. And I just feel like saying to them, we do not need a government or Cryon or anyone else to tell us that the fairies are real. A confirmation of that.
Yeah. And also there's a, Mac had posted a question in the chat. So when we get down to the questions, she has a hearing impairment. So if somebody could type it in the chat, I won't be able to, because I just know I can't, but if somebody, can, that'd be great. I know I can't. I already said. I don't know where it is exactly. I hardly ever am a participant in it. But if you click on manage or participants or something, it's there. But I know Yvonne, that you want to ask a question, so I'll remember that. All right, and so my goodness, my mind, the energies are such that I can't even focus. This is amazing. So Audrey is also going to share a message that she received today. And, she always does the light language and so on as it comes through. So we will do that as well. And she's also going to show some products that she has that I'm excited about for her. Did we lose her? We did. Oh, you found it, Yvonne. Good. Yeah, you found how to raise your hand. Good. I think we lost Audrey now. It's because the energies are so high, I think, because like I got kicked out and now Audrey got kicked out. So I was like, that is so weird. It never happens, but okay. And so Randy's saying, while the feeling tones of authenticity, advanced wisdom, and the depth of opportunity you bring into the simulation are humbling and amazing. I know, right? I know she can't hear that right now, but she will when she gets back. And just listening to her and the energy that's coming forth as Audrey is speaking is, blowing the circuits. That's what's happening, is blowing the circuits. Oh, she's back. Audrey, I'm going to unmute you. Okay. Yes. There you go. Hello.
Hello. Exactly. I heard you saying, I have so much energy. I drained the devices and I didn't look that it was so low. And so I was like, I have to plug it in. I work on clients and I have 4 or 5 phones. Remember when we're on the show with the phones? Yeah. And I have 4 or 5 phones. Tell me if it's getting statically. I jump on another phone, but I only have 1 laptop. So
yeah, exactly.
I work with that one. Exactly.
So anyway, do you want to do the message now, or do you want to take some questions now, or whatever you want?
Well, how about I read the message, because I think it's going to ignite a lot of questions. So everyone knows, I think, that I work with numbers, and numbers are a language of creation. So I speak the languages of light, the language of the Akash to rewrite it, and then creation brought through the number language of creation, because language and symbols have been contaminated. So think of the swastika, right? A beautiful thing, but then what they have done. So that's why the number language comes through. And in a session, a person could get their whole list of numbers, and then it's a tool besides the work they receive in those moments. But just to let you know, when I receive messages through automatic writing, sometimes there's a confirmation for the people, today is 3/29, right? 2019. And when I add that up, it comes to 26, which is 8 infinity. And when I first began my work and they turned me on and such, right, the infinity symbol in automatic writing was ripping the paper, because that, I found out later on, was the connection between the worlds. So the day today adds up to 8. So there you go. And the time when I received it in Eastern time was 9/12. And you add that up, it becomes 12, which is 3, Trinity. And what is Trinity, right? Creator, Mother, Father, whichever name you want to put to it, which is then birthed forth through the Son, the children, yes, and then the Holy Spirit, however you would say that, meaning the energy, the force of creation that works through its creation in that ways and means, but all the same thing in the different forms. So here you have the message coming in at that time, and they're calling it the recall to the remembering as if, yes, in the mind, right, to recall yourself, is also in recalling, remembering as if you put a member of yourself back on, right? So Here we go. I'm going to read it for you. There is a new day upon the horizon. There is a need to be an acclamation to that new day. The old system is an obsolete one. There are factions of it that are built upon things and beings and systems that are not self-sustaining, but that are what are as a parasite represents. It is not that they are not. It is not, and they are not self-sustaining systems or beings. You have been the life force that sustained that parasitic beings and system. You have been the cog in their machine. You have been their energy source to maintain them and their systems they have set up. They do not have within them the life source, the spark of divinity, the royal blood. And we say that because it is your DNA that is so precious. It is your soul essence that is so precious. A spark of divinity as a divine eternal being that is your power and your freedom from those systems and beings that have held you down and back for eons. Those that are of a self-serving expression that need you and your life force to sustain themselves, and these systems they develop to keep you in an illusion, keep you deluded and manipulated and controlled as you are uneducated about your true beingness and your true history and the truth of your essence. You have been mind wiped and stolen of your histories and stories to keep you disempowered and a cog in a machine, a game piece upon the board, or a sheeple or a cattle gazing happily within its allotted perimeters, never knowing or having the realization of where after their free range experience they will wind up. There are stories upon your world of the rare occasion when a cow led to being slaughtered breaks free to run for its life, taking control of the situation. Will you break free? These are the times of the opportunity to break free. For even your religions and your spirituality have been set up to hold you in another distraction. If we speak to you of your attaining your gifts or opening your third eye or of manifesting or abundance, or of your speaking to or receiving messages from angels or galactics or masters, we have your attention. But we say to you, this information, these opportunities to empower yourself is the important thing than to be lost within the distraction of more physical abundance and manifestation. We tell you truly, your true treasure lies with what you truly are, your soul, not the physical suit you wear to express upon and playing to experience through. Your soul is the essence of you. Have you tended to it or have no idea or thought of it? You should, as these are the times given to you to wake up truly, have the realizations of what has occurred for eons that you have been a part of, and to, with that, re-educate to make a choice that is made by the expression of your beingness, not concepts and ideas merely held, but your expression of what you are. That will bring you to where you will find yourself as you travel through your existence. Will you be part of the new in resonance with it? If yes, it does entail disentanglement from the old energies and generational ancestral ties, as well as unconscious, subconscious, and childhood issues from the multiple aspects of you as you are a multidimensional being. And when that is cleared, you are then being upgraded, so to say, pouring the light back into you, the upgrade of the DNA, and operating upon a higher frequency band with the resonance, your vibrational octave. The work's being offered here to take control, delete the old, reboot to the new, the old operating system, the old beliefs, the old ways you were educated in, that you are maintaining by belief systems instilled to keep you looping in the same old over and over. Life upon life has created a stagnation within the field of creation. Those parasitic expressions can only loop and feed off others and the systems they develop to hold you in as an energy food source to maintain those expressions that cannot sustain themselves. That is the old, the looping and its stagnation. It has caused is a contradiction to life, which life is about motion and movement. You see, movement, vibrating at a higher frequency, higher consciousness level, return to your own original states of being, re-educated to the truth of that which you are, sparks of divinity expression, God, source, creator, prime creation, the field of consciousness, the all, the I am, the one, the oneness. There is only one being, and you are it, part of it, and in expression. All parts of the self within the selfhood expressing itself to play with and within itself, its creation, to explore, play, express through its creation, to know itself and all that it is. And you are that. Time to recall yourself to yourself. Time to remember yourself. Put a member back on by recalling back to yourself, your true self. That is your divine birthright. And as to stand as a sovereign being in that which is your birthright and rightfully yours, these works assist you, where you take part in what helps you to tend your eternal self, your soul, which is where your treasure lies. And this soul architect here to assist you with your soul evolution back to remembrance of self. Or do you wish to continue to sleep and be deluded and manipulated and distracted by what is a false awakening to yet keep you distracted again? If we say the words manifestation, abundance, angel, masters, galactics, opening your gifts and the abilities, we would have your attention. Sorry guys, hold on. We would have your attention. And a session taken. It is so. It is so. But we say to you, any manifestation of physical abundance is nothing when you find yourself out of your physical vessel. It is a soul essence, your consciousness expression, your vibrating states that will place you either again within the loops of the system created to distract and hold you as unwittingly food and sustaining batteries to maintain beings in a system that is based upon parasitic expression and so needs you to maintain it? Or will you free yourself from it to be in resonance with the new system and the beingness that is truly self-sustaining? That is the way of the new, which is actually the originating states that the experiment gave exploration into what one is not has brought forth. That it is these times to recall what you are and exit the sleep, the forgetting, the illusion, out of the dream of forgetfulness of self, and the whole these players to sustain that system that has become parasitic expression from their deep immersion in forgetting and all that has wrought upon existence. It is the times that they are changing within the field of creation itself. Will you take this opportunity to clear out the old and build, renew yourself to be in resonance with the new? What do you think the words regenesis, reformation, metamorphosis, transfiguration, transmutation, resurrection represents? It is the you, if you take part in the renewed expression of yourself, the new expression of you, empowered, sovereign, divinity and expression, a divine spark, recalling, remember that which it is, and no longer held down by those portions of the selfhood that are lost in forgetting, and as such have existed upon your life force and have, through parasitic expression, been able to sustain themselves in the systems they developed to keep you unaware and lost in a multiple of distractions as they set up illusions to hold you stuck, looping over and over. We come to set you free by our assistance, our re-education of you. If you will truly hear and see and step into the realization of the real, and your earthly things are not that which will get you out of the looping, and you being a source of sustenance for the parasitic expression in their systems they develop to hold you within, your beliefs and education, your world they devised and set up for you to be held in, looping and stagnant and maintaining, feeding them. Your spirituality they have also set up to delude and manipulate you in. Angels, your fascination with, beautiful beings, source and expression, as that beingness set up to play the part of the beings to assist you, humanity, as you express in the forgetting of what you are. Source playing in forgetting. You are a creator being, to play in separation of itself, which is an illusion. To play in that you are lost and separated from yourself. Your source, which you can never be. But you devised a way, we devised a way to play in, that to experiment with, that to add to the knowing of ourself, of the all that we are. So the angels created to tend to us. They are another expression of us, to tend to us as we play in forgetting of ourselves. Ourselves. Angels cannot move out of their perimeters they have been allotted to. Yes, powerful beings, but remember, they were created to tend to you, who is a creator being that is not only allotted certain perimeters to stand within. They, angels, cannot make their own creative choices to have a child, or this love, or that one, or this job, or this home, or this occupation, or this or that experience. They cannot make a choice of that to express an experience as you can, as sparks of divinity. They can only serve you and have no choice in it, as they were created as such. Now masters hold the remembering to remind you of the truth, while you, a spark of divinity, playing and forgetting of what you are, a signpost they are to help point you back to yourself from forgetting. And it is time you step back into your mastery as this architect, this weaver of codes for creation, the energy, the fabric of creation. She weaves as an architect one from time before time, first wave of creation, here to assist you in, so that you take your rightful place among the masters, whose names you call so many and hold such high esteem and regard over yourself. Wake up, you also are a master. For you are me, I am you. There is no thing, nothing else but me, but us, me expressing as you, and as all the other expressions of me, angels, masters, galactic included. Galactic or merely other expressions of me, of us exploring other portions of creation, which is me, which is us. Yet again, you hold all those expressions above you, and you concern yourself with manifesting your physical abundance rather than where your treasure, your most valuable asset is. For it is your beingness, your consciousness expressed, your soul essence is you. You are being given this gift to assist you to truly awaken to the truth and to that which you are and have been a part of. For I am speaking to you to recall myself to myself, call back by recalling, remembering what you are and what we have traveled through and created to express through, and to add to the knowing of ourselves. For I am all there is. There is nothing else but me, the no thing and the everything. And that is brought forth, birth from the no thing, the nothingness into something, to express ourselves throughout creation. Hear me, as this one I speak to you through is here to deliver you to yourself, back to yourself. So choose, where will you be found in the time of the great divide? Upon the side that is obsolete, parasitic expression, being obsolete as it cannot sustain itself, on the side of devolution, or upon the side of evolution and the movement out of stagnation, old loops played over and over, to the recreation of you upon your evolutionary journey of your consciousness and your soul evolution as you travel through creation. But standing in your divine birthright as a sovereign being, an aspect of divinity embodied, playing throughout its creation, a creator being in remembrance of itself. Your gift is of that consciousness, that soul spark, your true essence. Do not be lost in pursuit of merely physical abundance and manifestation in the physical. The physical is an illusion to play within and with. The parasitism that is plaguing existence is a real thing that has been brought forth from forgetting, and the stagnation that it has wrought upon existence itself and its many creation is to be dealt with, as it is an obsolete system that is not self-sustaining. All that is evolutionary is a self-sustaining system. Where will you find yourself? Will it be in resonance with the new? This Elohim, in embodied, this weaver of code of creation, speaking the number language of creation that is beyond manipulation, as language and symbols have been, comes in to deliver the works to creation, to existence, and to those of you that are moved to come and receive the assistance for yourself, your true self, soul essence. Will you see and hear? Come drink from the wellspring that comes through this one of me that is delivering these works to you. You are me in expression. It is the times to recall this, and the angels and the masters and galactics play their assigned parts. You are a spark of divine essence, and yet you continually in your uneducation hold them all over and above yourself when they are not. These are the opportunities to step back into your power of that which you are. How do you think do they who are in forgetting are able to sustain themselves in their worlds? They have developed off of the energy of you. You've sustained whole worlds and other beings who have become so lost in the experiment of forgetting that they are so disconnected from source is saying this, me, the essence of all beingness, that they needed you to sustain themselves and their worlds. For eons, they have played this out to keep them parasitically existing, source and forgetting, eating itself to survive and maintain itself. And this system has created stagnation, which is a contradiction to life, which is about motion and movement, self-sustaining systems. There is no longer the need to travel through shadow. There is no longer a value in traveling through the lower expression of consciousness, that expression. Its usefulness to explore that expression of creation through the lower vibratory expressions of consciousness has been fulfilled. The experiment of that experience has played out, as it is a huge loss of so much innocence at the cost of the knowing of the selfhood into totality in all vibratory fields of its expression and consciousness expressed. There was a value but it has been written in the book of life, and now there is no longer a value, but only stagnation, which these times are assisting to by creating a new renewal, true awakening, and the knowledge that the physical is not all there is. It is a device to play within and with and enter into an experience. And portions of creation have become so lost to themselves within all this creation, experimentation, exploration, that it is the time of the recalling and the remembrance, the healing, the fractulation to wholeness and holiness, so that when creation explores itself through all of its wonders and the true magic of itself, no longer will they be lying in wake, a parasitic expression lost in forgetting, lurking in wait to capture and feed upon another of itself that is in remembrance, life force emanating from its very essence. And so that is what you are, life force essence. You have forgotten. It is time to recall yourself. Now, the time that this ends is at 10:40, which comes to 5, which means no more old beliefs and paradigms, which this is writing about. And then I checked again at the time, it was 10:42, which is 7, which is for the truth, capital letter truth. And it says, if we just sit in the void of nothing, we would never be made known or express ourselves to be made known and know ourselves as the all that we are, the all being brought forth from the nothing to be all things. And then at that time it was 11:15, which adds to 8, which is infinity, and then 11:16, which is 9, which is completion. And so that was the message. And if you guys realize, that was source coming through. And then when I looked, it was 10:42, which is 7, which is truth. And then again, when I looked after they said this about the Trinity, which we already know is all creation expression through the Trinity, it was 11:10, which was 3, Trinity. And so, you know, guys, I can't pretend and make up the numbers. So this is a proof for you to see what is coming through. If you realize in this message, it was not an angel master galactic, which is an intermediary for you in the time of forgetting to play through, but now it is you can connect directly to source creation that you are a part of, and you don't need the intermediaries, right? When you're to stand in your divine birthright and the power that you are, you connect directly to that and realize that you are that in expression, and go forth and create anew. So I hope you all understand. I apologize it took a long time, but it was very important, because you see who came through, creator creation, directly to you to give a message. And on your show today, for them, they wanted me to bring it forth, Alara. So thank you so much for that, rather than an intermediary, that which is not needed, right? But directly speaking to all of you. Just light. Ashumana varusea, ben no 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 no.
Oh no. Oh no. Not again. No, that was, are we still here? I don't think so. I'm not sure.
I hope you enjoyed that message, because it was a bit of a long message, and Alara didn't know how long it was going to be. So I actually didn't get to time it. I was just writing it quickly before the show.
Yeah, that was really powerful. Thank you so much. And so much information, you know, and so much coming through all at once. It was just like, I don't know how you were able to write it all down.
Yes, very quickly, because I had to shower and get ready, and I'm like, oh my God, I don't have time for this. And I had one of my classes before, but it was very important. And to bring source through to speak to all of you rather than intermediary, because we want to understand all these intermediaries, all these names, all these holy ones, right? What is it really? It's creator creation playing through that in the field of creation, right? And us are part in it. And in this new creation, we must remember we are it, right? So any being and any person who you want to work with, that to instill you, to help you at that. And my work does that. And I hope, because again, I am Elohim and embodied, you know, from first wave of creation, when creation went out, people, I work on healers to the healers around the world, right? And on regular people too. Beautiful, beautiful sparks of divinity, right? Whether healer or not, receive this work. But the healers, because they're so curious of what they're receiving, that leaves them with a wow or speechless, they try to follow me. You know what they say? They say, we can't follow you. You're like through the Milky Way. You're not even in this galaxy. You're like everywhere, right? So this is proof, right? That what I'm bringing through is to help empower you, and is not just another person, let's say, who's, you know, life after death. I studied with this one. I'm a walk-in, you know, this one's telling me this, or I took ayahuasca, or I had to go sit with rishis, you know, all these things, blessed, whatever. But our world is still in the state for eons of time, yes, with all these things going on, and still these things are happening. So we need a new approach. So source coming in to say, wake up, right? Remember that you are this, go forth in this vibrations. This is going to be obsolete no more, right? So you have an opportunity not to wind up in the obsolete, right? But to go forth higher vibratory beings, which you must be of heart, yes, not concepts and ideals, to truly be it. This assistance to clean the closet, so to say, out of all the old energies and such, you know, so they can pour the light back in more and more and more and be it in their expression, not just concepts they spin in, but truly to assist them in that, so we can make something new. For creation itself, when I first began, creation was saying to me when they turned me back on, it was like, get the needle out of the groove. And that's a little bit old for some of us, but I think we understand, even the ones with the needle in the groove means the same note is played continually. Yeah. That's the looping, right? So creation itself, that's a contradiction to life. Life is not about looping in the same stagnation. Life is about creation. That entails motion and movement. And so thusly why we are raising up in our energy and our light poured back in from what we lowered it to come and be in this expression, right? As I said originally, oh, what fun as a creator being to play, to die, to get sick, right? To experience lower expression. So we added to our knowing of this now. Never was supposed to be stuck in it. So this is why these works coming through for creator to heal that parasitic, right, expression, heal everyone to the wholeness and totality, to remember before the experiment. That's why people say to me, I am from preconception, right? Pre everything, because I know and I remember that and I work from that. So to assist those that want to really see and hear and be empowered. Yeah, unless they want to keep giving their puppet strings over to some other being. I come in to cut the puppet strings, right?
Right. Yeah. So. Awesome. Thank you. Yes, I want those puppet strings cut.
Yes. Yeah. Do you have any questions that you wanted to go to?
Well, I know that Yvonne has raised her hand. And Yvonne, do you want to unmute yourself? I can unmute you. There you go.
There we go. Hi, Laura.
Hi.
Yeah, Audrey, I've listened to you before. You're amazing. And everything you just read was my truth. I really feel, and I'm there. My question is, I've got some things in this third dimensional world that I would like to take out into the world. Now I've set it aside because maybe the angels have something more for me to do instead, or whatever. Now I'm out there, I'm coaching, I'm doing all this stuff, but I'm not doing it as a creation of a successful job or anything like that. I'm just doing it with everybody and anybody I see. And everybody's going, oh, you should be taking that out into the world. And I want to do that. So I'm just thinking, or I just feel it's either not divine timing and I'm still building up, or it's there's just something that's holding myself back.
Well, let's go back to when you said you heard everything that I said, right?
Yes. So
what I was saying, here you are saying if it's okay with the angels or in divine timing, right? That's still old belief. Because you, as the angels, are there to assist you, who are a spark of divinity, that are standing, and the divine timing and the divine plan is that we step into, remember what we are, and be that expression in embodiment. So what you have already been doing is being that expression and touching others, right? And wanting to help them on that level. Now, as far as bringing it forward to the world, you have to jump in and do it again, right? I was a mom, a wife, minding my business. I didn't travel the world. I didn't have rishis. I wasn't taught by this one and that one and turned on. I was levitated and turned back on because it was time to put codes into the field of creation as a weaver of codes. That means weaving energies, right? So what's removed, there's a new platform, and I don't have to travel to places around the world as people do as gatekeepers and such. I do it from where I am, giving codes to the galaxies in existence. So I had no pre-training. This is coming through, and because I'm a heart being, I'm developing and doing it and went with the evolution of it, but you have to jump in and do it, right? So it can be brought forth through you. Like my work, they say, is the wellspring, that means the divine, right? Coming through this vessel as Elohim, yes, to bring forth to all so they can partake of the works, drink from the wellspring to help them be healed and remember, right, that they are sparks of that wellspring of divinity as well. So why are you waiting for some being, some divinity, some this and that? When you're a spark of divinity and expression and you want to go forth, jump in and do it, right? And let it evolve as you are doing it, right?
Okay.
Sometimes we have financial that comes with it, right? And sometimes not, because we do both ways. Yes, there should be an exchange, because when I first began, I was crying, how can I charge for God's work? And they had said to me, you don't understand. What you're giving to them is priceless. They cannot put a price on it. Back in the day, right, when you were in bodies doing your works, they bring you like, you know, myrrh or silks or animals, whatever the monetary was. Now it is this monetary. So there must be the exchange, so people do not just become parasitic and take and take and take, and keep a balance, right, of the scales of that energy, right, for the huge priceless thing as they travel through existence that they're receiving through this work coming through them, right? And then other times there's people can't, so you make adjustments there and do it, beautiful one. And not because you're waiting for some other being to tell you. Then how are you standing in your divine birthright and your power and your sovereignty as a spark of divinity and expression if you're waiting to get an okay from someone else? Did you just hear what you want to talk about, your divine plan? I just bring to all of you the divine, God, the source field, consciousness expression, whatever name you're comfortable with, prime creator, the I am, the nothing and the all things, to speak to all of you through that message, right? At the end of it, right? Because it's only it, it's safe. So what do you want to do as it, standing empowered to birth forth these things than waiting for a check or okay from anyone else, you know? If things step in your way, you step over them, right? And you keep going for your heart of what you know, right, is right to do, because you're saying to me, you understand what I'm saying, you resonate with this, right? So this is your passion and your love, right, that you want to do. So get out there and do it and juggle the balls and jump over the hurdles, right? Fly over the hurdles, right? With the magic of you, you know, to do it wherever it comes for you, whether in one person or many people, right? You just do it because each one is a treasure, right? That you can touch to help them remember that they are that treasure, right? That beautiful spark of divinity. Help them to heal, you know?
Yes. Okay. So, yeah, because I find I stumble with, you know, should I do Facebook or should I do, you know, YouTube or
do
so.
every single thing you can do, because you want to reach it everywhere. I'm in New York and I have clients around the world in little teeny tiny places all around the world, because it's moved for them to receive the work. So if you're out there in all ways and means, right, you can reach them close and far. So try every means you can, because it'll just be open by creation to us, you know, to bring them into the system. Like you people who are out there listening, there's by no coincidence, you know, come receive the codes, receive the works, the numbers. You could read the numbers, and that's energy from creation to help you as you're thinking on what you want to build forward. You're going to read this list of numbers. That's a tool for you, the energy frequencies, to help build whatever one needs to build, or help them protect and have fortification of what they want to disperse and dispel, right? Or just throw the energy of the numbers out by saying the numbers, which helps support you in whatever what may, because we never know what happens from moment to moment. So partake of this opportunity, you know, to receive the numbers and the codes and the work today to help you on your journey as you're going, right? To fast track it, you know?
Okay. That's great. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys.
Thank you, Yvonne.
Thank you for being here with us.
You're awesome.
Oh my God, you are as well, and Lara and everyone. So thank you for just helping them remember how awesome they are, you know?
Right. So Linda has a question. She says, could Audrey give us a code for attracting money? Now, I know that Linda has asked about that kind of thing before, but I'm not sure from you. But I know there are quite a few people who would like a bit more abundance, prosperity.
I love how beautiful you're looking, your outfit, Lara. It's so beautiful. Yes. But I will bring something through for them, but I want them to understand, again, that's physical, which money is important in physical and abundance. But don't let it fall on deaf ears, all that I have been saying to you. Yes, right? We have to juggle balls, right? Oh, the physical responsibility to ourselves and others and all of that. Don't forget the other hand, which is the spiritual and your soul essence, because I may give you a code, you may get tons of abundance. You didn't do work on your soul and your spirituality to release the energies that need to from generational and all that other stuff, other aspects of yourself. And so great, you had a bunch of money in physicality. physicality, but where are you going to find yourself when you're out of physicality, right? You didn't work on that. You didn't receive the codes, the works, the numbers, right, to help you to get the things out of the way. So as you travel through existence, that money and monetary doing nothing for you when you're out of physicality. That's what we're saying, where your true treasure lies. So yes, you guys want to focus on the money and having a code for that. That's great. But don't forget where your real treasure lies, right, as you travel through existence, you know?
Yeah.
So I'll do it quickly, but again, if they have sessions, they can get numbers, which they'll have those numbers, 100 long list, Alara knows, right? This is not 10 and 12 numbers. This is pages front and back, hundreds long of numbers, which are codes that you're going to then use in their life of what they want to manifest in physical, which would be money or whatever. Abundance, but again, not only abundance in physicality, abundance also for the spiritual, where they're going to find themselves in very quickly, because the physical experience is just like this, right? And they want to loop in another physical experience with the same type of stuff going over and on again, wearing different costume, different bodysuit, you know, stage is set, but the same energy playing through? Or would you really like to have spiritual abundance so you no longer have to do that and can have different experiences?
Yeah, you know? Exactly.
So I'm going to do a little something, but again, that is not enough to come and have the sessions, because we don't want to just give you, here's the money for you, and then you're leaving out of the things that are more important, right, as you're traveling through existence. It's going contrary again to what Creator came through to speak to them about, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. Sumashana patu, shelevanton, selemanton, selemanton, ton, 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 telemanton, nian tu us atye. Canese, shelapatu, aseve, she, bienikum, tia, sheva usaia, telemanton, nian. Very sinisha, sha, sha. Shem, 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 shem. Severt, severt, severt. Unyanakash ut ulmakasha. Sum sekasha, sum sekasha, sum sekasha.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm receiving it as well. So Linda, just let us know how that was for you. I was going to just ask you really quickly about the Akash, about rewriting the Akash, right? A lot of people read, you know, the Akash, read the records in the Akash, healing in the Akash, in the Akashic records, but what is the writing, the rewriting in the Akash? Can you talk a little bit about that?
If you want to think of it how they talk about a library or a file and such of all the potentials, all that was done in one's life and all the potentials from there, you have to realize that is being written and everything from this point that was the old of creation, right? And has even been contaminated in a way, right? Because you're thinking all those things are only open to the potentials that were from that point, which has already been contaminated in the experiences that were had and had gone on, you see? So that is why for me, I do not enter there. I go here, right? The new Akash, the new writing, the new coding for that. So you're not going to go from this point of potentials that are only going to be there, infecting the potentials from this point. You understand of the old, what is only made available, right? Here to this, so you in resonance with that can be going forth on all those potentials of the new, right, in that library, new maps, new recipes, new agreements. You understand based on the new and the energy of that than this old, right? I am here as Elohim and embodied, first wave of creation, weaver of codes of creation, all these names, blah, blah, right? But from a point of creation before all of this was even developed in the Kasha or anything else, you see? So to come in for this new to be established is not on this old, which is then building what I've been speaking to all about on the old beliefs and paradigms and such, right? We have a new creation means, boom, boom, slate clean, right? So from this point on creating, you know, so that's what rewriting the Akasha is about, you know? So, because this is the cutting edge, this is the new, you know? So they can take part of that and remember, you know, and for the next embodiments, you know, for the children, you know, children are coming in, and what's the change? It's still looping in the same things that they're experiencing and going on, you know? No, they've come prepared for a new stage to play out upon, which is lag that isn't here yet, that they're prepared for. And that's why you see sometimes they're floundering what's going on, you know, because they're ready for something else in this stage, which is still lagging behind, right? This is why we come quantum, quick. Talk about the divine plan. Do you think the divine goes as a snail's pace? No, it's quick, let's go, right? You guys are forgetting or making the lag. And those things that are totally in forgetting want to keep it going on or pulling it, right? No, we want to go forth and create the new, yes?
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm just doing this because that's energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
So I wanted to take a moment to talk about the special offer, and only because we've tweaked it since before. So I just want to talk a little bit about the special offer, and then I wanted to talk about the new products and stuff that you have as well, just for the heck of it, because we're on video. So for those of you who are on the live page, you can just click on special offer. Those of you who are not, you can go to alara.at/show/Audrey. And so we have 3 packages. Audrey's going to say, what? Why 3? So package A are the 4 MP3s. And then package B is, and hopefully I did this right, I'm not even sure anymore, Audrey, but package B includes everything in package A plus a 90-minute personal session with number codes. Is that right?
What's the third one? And then we'll check.
The third one is just a 45-minute private session.
45-minute private session. Okay. And what was the exchange? Does it say what the exchange rate is for the second one and the last one?
The package B is $149. Remember, we changed that, and package C is $97.
Okay, beautiful, perfect. Because they are actually getting that discount, I think, from what we did it last time, because we want to give them this opportunity to give them a discount to ignite them to come and receive these things again, which is, are you going to choose to just play in physicality with all the things you're familiar with and such, or you're going to understand the treasure of you at your soul essence as you are traveling through existence where you will find yourself? That is where abundance is. Yes, it will ripple into your physicality, but because you're focusing on this, which is the higher aspect of you, right? Then it will ripple into the physical, rather than you just here. You're not you're not working on it here if you're just physical things, right? But the reverse, work on your soul, your true essence of your being, then that ripples down into physical, so you're handling both at one time. Not only, oh, what do I manifest, give me a message from the angels, that is not going to affect here, where we want to get you to, so you remember what you are as you travel through existence and be freed in that way to stand in your power, your own agenda. Do you know how priceless it is to be an architect of your own designs, that the hands of others' agendas? But that's why I'm saying there is no price to be put on it.
Yeah.
Right? Standing in the essence of creator beingness that you are.
And that's really true creation when you are that architect, and be able to design your life without the effects or, interference from other beings, right?
Yes, exactly. To play pawns in that play or that game, they're beautiful beings. We came in to take part in this, but was never supposed to be stuck in it.
Right.
And that stuckness is not love in action. This, to be released of that and to stand in power, the opportunity giving, that is true love, in action now, right? For that healing, that wholeness, the wellness, to stand in their divinity again and remember they are that. There is, in creation, I'm a time traveler, so to say, they say, right? Because there is no time in a line, but a spiral. We cannot affect the change to be made, say, from that future point. So coming back in that future point's past, right, in the spiral to our eternal now moment, to make the new creation from, which then makes that point in the spiral, what was the future, an old future now, open to new potentials, new creations, right, which is now the new future points, right? So this work to help them to be in alignment with that, because isn't that beautiful? A civilization and a people that are educated, not dumbed down, not zombie, not knowing not what they are and at the hands of others, right? Their beautiful life force sustaining others from forgetting. You see, dumbed down of what they are. So that civilization are beings educated, knowing they are sparks of divinity and expression, all integritous, not playing love, unity, oneness, but being in integrity of their expression, right? Creator expressing in that way, respecting and honoring all that are in that creation, to express and experience the bounty and the true magic of being a spark of divinity, a spark of creation in expression, right? Which adds to creator creations, right? Beautiful experiences of itself, no longer the the same being played out in the stagnation of that. So what is more loving? They want to love, they want to mention angels, they want to mention the divine plan. You want to love creator creation, God, right? Which it said, love yourself, honor yourself, which is it. So it is then brought forth, right, to play and experience and express itself on those beautiful levels, right, of creation. What is more loving than that? What is more the divine plan than that? What is more of a plan? You don't hear the angels, masters, and galactics and everybody else expressing this to you. They're locked in playing what they're playing in. Yes, their beingness, right? But they should be telling you, you are this. Here, take it now. It is yours. These are the times of that. We've played in this, right? Go forth, and this is what you're going to be. Do you know some of my work, I actually spring forth from here on them, angel wings of the earth angels, because you're right. So sometimes people receive that, opening it up here. You're an earth angel, and you just want to say, angels, tell me, tell me. Again, you're manipulated by angels. Why are you manipulated by angels or others, galactic masters or anybody else, when they are just expression of creation, expressing in that way, playing a game, when instead you could say to them, wait, I remember what I am, right? Creator creations having me remember what I am. Thank you for the parts that you have played while I was in forgetting, but now I stand in remembrance of myself that I am this. Thank you, right? And so thusly then they honor you in that, because you are creator saying, I remember. I wake up now. Thank you for your service that you played the part in my forgetting, but now I remember what I am. That is the divine's plan, you know?
Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much. And then, that brings a great question here. It's about, you say that we cannot, you say that we can connect direct to source and not through intermediaries. We don't have to go through intermediaries. What about our higher selves? What are your comments on the relationship with our higher self container?
Oh, thank you so much for that question, because that is so important. This again is in the old belief system. Me and my higher self are separate. Tell me, higher self, a message, right? Tell me, connect me with my higher self. My higher self is out there. See, that is the point of all this remembering truly, awakening truly, right? Is because you and the higher self blended together, walking as oneness. That higher self we get through my work as well. The energies, the things out of the way. So the higher self and you are joined back in, right? Raising your DNA, raising your vibratory field, your consciousness, right? All of this, you and the higher self to be one. There was this separation in the time of forgetting, so creation could think, oh, I'm the lowly, whatever. You're going to have that experience, dying, death, all this stuff, manipulation. But now, this is you and the higher self joining back together. Stop thinking it's a separate thing, because do the works that you and it are together. This is walking heaven on earth, right? Because what you think is out there is you in expression. You are creator, creation, wearing a bodysuit or a non-suit or another expression of galactic being, right? Wearing those beingness, playing out through its creation, you know? So why always the separation? That was before. We want to be re-educated to the new and the cutting edge, which those beingnesses, which I say to you, future aspects where there's no time, but you understand in the spiral, are in a civilization, which is not yet this one that we have come in to assist it to get to that point, right, of the potential to ride on, which understand that they and the higher self are one and the same being, no longer separated because of that experiment of forgetting and sleep, right? So please change that idea of that. And so that's why then the joining, the work for one to join with that, no longer always thinking and maintaining and keeping the old beliefs, paradigms, right, foundation. It's out there. No, here, join to you. What is that higher self? It's the spark of divinity that you are, soul essence, walking zipped up in a physical suit, you know?
Yep. Thank you. Great question. Great answer. Absolutely.
Yes,
I love it.
you.
So I'm not sure if anybody else has any questions. If you do, type them in the chat and so on. But there was a question which I lost from somebody, Carla. So I'm just gonna. So Carla is talking about she launched her poetic play on the first day of spring. On the first day of spring, she feels that the elementals are around her, her poems and her play. What extra tips, wishes, and suggestions do you receive from them, or do you have for me to make my play a huge success with a long future? And what does the message I received, bees play an important role in your career, mean? In what are they important? Anyways, hopefully you got some of that.
The fairies for her minute. C'est parti. In a session, right? The people have the ancient ones, the Native American ones, the fairies coming through, right? Because they remember the truth, right? and reaches to many portions that I bring through to assist them, you know. Now, as far as this, what she wants to create, again, she's speaking about them. This is her. What does she want to create as a creative being and put in it? And everyone always giving their power over to everyone else. Tell me angels, tell me fairies, tell me masters, tell me God, tell me somebody. Hello, you are God in expression. What would you like to do? Yes, because you add to God, creator, as that expression, that you of you, H-U-E, the you of you, the fragrance of you, the essence of you that adds to the symphony, right? Or the beautiful mural of creation through all of you. So what would you like to do? What is of her heart that she brings forth? When she brings forth her heart and her interest and her joy in this, yes, that is what fairy is, right? The joy, the pleasure, right? The truth of things, elemental, right? The people are going to be drawn to it because they'll feel that. And what is this? I want to see what's going on. What is partaking of, you know? They'll spread the word, you know? So her, not them, her, what does she want to do? Because she's bringing through her elemental, right? Because we're many aspects, right? We're galactic, we're fairy, we're this, we're that, we're many beings in expression. She's tapping into, she's thinking them there separate. Her fairiness she's bringing forth and putting in there. So you see that different perspective of how to look at things, guys, you know?
Yeah.
Then if someone give me a message, do you guys understand how disempowering that is? Someone give me a message. I just gave you a message from creative creation to tell you truth of things, yet you're still looking for someone else to give you a message. So you're not really hearing, you see?
Well,
it's a change of perspective. It's just old habits to break. You know?
Well, and I think it's part of the old habit for sure, but it can also be a part of, like, you know, they've tried to ask source, they've tried to go within and get the answers themselves. They've done things, taken action on things, and maybe they failed, bombed, nothing worked out. So then it's like, okay, I you know, who else do I go to now? Because I've tried everything, right? So then they go to somebody else and say, tell me, what do you see?
But the seers, again, I'm going to tell you about seers. Seers are disempowering you, actually. Because what are you going to do when you don't get a seer? Where's the great seers? Again, how we played through time, right? Of forgetting. Creation, playing and forgetting, needed the seers to play with to tell it, right? But now is the new day. Throw away the crutches and training wheels of that. What are you going to do if there's no seer around? Be lost? Right? And a seer may tell you something, which there's only 1, 2, 3, 4 paths of potentials they may see to tell you. As a human, you only hear and listen and look for what the seer said. You know what? There's many paths of possible probabilities, and reality is always in constant motion and movement, constant motion and movement. So there's no way they can see all the paths of potential. You as a human focus on what they say, you begin to lose the other potentialities, or maybe something even better that lied there for you, because you're only focused on as a creator being in forgetfulness, what they said to you, and that all that comes out, it may not even be that good, you see? Now, why they're not hearing or such is because, again, I am telling you, as if we're in a fishbowl or terrarium, what's a good way to say it, right? The Matrix and such. What is holding and owning the world and eating off you and want to keep you in disappointment, sadness, right? All the things that feed those other beingnesses, right? To maintain themselves. So you're always hitting on a wall, right? Because of this situation that we're in. That's why we want to do the works to get out of that, and where your treasure lies, that we're saying for you as you travel through existence, so you no longer find yourself within that particular fish tank, terrarium, right? That works in that way, you know? So as you stand more and more in your power, it is not so much to say, tell me, God, tell me. You are creator, creation, and expression. What would you like to do, right? What is the old thing? God helps those who helps themselves, right? Why? Because you are in an expression. What would you like to do with your forces of creation? You know, it's just a different perspective that is the new day and the new way to look at it. People in other societies, right, know that they are that, and the gift of consciousness and life. What are they playing in? What are they expressing through? What are they experiencing, which is their treasure, you know, of that. So make some changes, receive some works that maybe, do you know, and I don't want this job, but it seems that I have gotten it as coming in embodiment. I work with people around the world. I am removing etheric, what is it, like chains,
shackles,
from people's wrists, their ankles, their throats. Not that you see them or I see them, but I'm working on them. They're being removed. Okay? There are a woman who was like, oh my God, Audrey, you just 3 sessions. And she was like, she spoke French. The English is her second language. So at the 3rd session, she says, Audrey, oh my goodness, let me think how I translate this for you. She says, just fell out of me because she was a seer, a black thing, not of course on her
Mhm.
floor, but etherically. She said
Mhm.
what it looked like was an octopus, a squid. This again is the parasitic things, just like we have our body is things live on our scalp, on our eyelashes, in our intestines, right? There are things in creation and all about us that you don't see, but that are, right? That are parasitic expression that hold people down in the same energies, feeding off of their life force and their light of their energy. So I don't want to have this job to do these things, but I do it because it is necessary and needed, right? And the ability to do it. Maybe sometimes when people are hitting and road all the time, it's because those things are tangling and hold them. Maybe they have generational energetic lineages that have been agreements, right, through the lineages that need to be broken. Maybe there's an unconscious thing, a subconscious thing, right, a bleed through another aspect, right? We think of it as a life, but there are no other lives. It's other aspects all happening simultaneous, right?
Mhm.
So there is no time. That is a bleed through in this one affecting this one that my work would help untangle them from, so they can move forward. And then add receiving the numbers, you know, and you say, where's the help? Where's the help? Hello, I'm speaking of it from creator creation, coming right from another in expression of me into physicality. People are always like, the great Elohim have given me this message, or this one or that one. Hello, I'm Elohim and embodied. I'm walking here with you to help you and assist you. Or do you still want to speak to another being who's going to say to you, Elohim out there delivered the message? When I'm here delivering you message in physicality to walk it with you, to understand that, then those that do not come in physicality or to the plane of the parasitic plague and the forgetfulness to enter into, and even beyond that, to remember what they are and to assist others too as well? Or do you want to still work with those that are here that always stay in remembrance while you have entered into forgetting? You understand the difference?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, thank you. Wow. And then there's another question about what can you say about the new Earth crystalline grid coming online in our experience?
Well, this is again all the parts of the new and the new work, why we cannot just be lost in a false awakening and spirituality that has been devised yet to hold people, right? What I'm speaking to you about is that being the crystalline as the Christ represented of not even chakras. You know, people get upset, but we're going to move beyond the chakras, because the chakras has also been energy things that have held us in the old, and the karma belief, the lessons, all that old stuff, right? To a pillar of light, right?
Mm-hmm.
Within male and female, not just female, male, male. Within our vessels, we are male and female blended energy through all of our aspects, whether we're here a woman and they're men, right? Still us in another aspect. Within all those embodiments, we blend the male and female energy to be that pillar of light, right? So these are the works and the things that we were doing. The DNA being upgraded, coming more online with the higher vibration, pouring the light in, working for this crystalline, right? Years ago, I have a message from Mother Gaia. She says, I'm awaiting the arrival of my children, right? So she is already vibrating, right? Because she's multiple aspects as we are, right? So this works that are being done to help them get out of the old, to be in alignment with the new, and bringing that forth more and more and more of this, what they speak crystalline. I don't, everyone is on this new kick about 5D. And that's
Mm-hmm.
wonderful and fun. But you know what I say? Because coming from preconception, right? And from people can't find me in existence, I'm everywhere. This is the thing. Why do you want to play with the crayon box, which has only a small number of crayons in it, when you could have a huge crayon box of so many colors? Once you stand in your divinity and your birthright as a sovereign being, you don't only have to be open to 5D to you, but you have all the Ds if you are in resonance to express and explore through creation. You want to speak Ds? I bring 10, 11, 12, 22, 28, 32, many, many realms, which Ds are expression vibratorily. I bring in and have access to, and they can also have access to if they stand in their sovereignty, divine birthright as a spark of divinity. What do they want to go play in if they are in vibratory resonance with that in their heart and their beingness, right? So I see it as it's fun and wonderful. Everyone's talking about it to try to expand them, but why do they want to be expanded to yet another limitation when there is so much that is going on there, which is a much bigger crayon box or paints to play with, right? Than one little crayon box. Like, oh, here, okay, here's, you know, I gave from 2 crayons, now I'm going to give you 5 crayons, you know? That's all you want to play with? Why? When you can have so much, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you see perspective, understanding, re-education of one, empowerment of one. Why do you want to change being locked up in a cage to only a free range situation? Don't all the animals in free range think they're so happy, right? Where do they wind up? get on the plate. Yes. So this is why you want to be open, right, to all the D's if you can, in resonance of that, you know.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you. Great question. Oh goodness. All right. So, do you want to share anything about your number coded products, and
Yes.
why did you start to do that? Like,
well, I have the number list that everyone can have, and they're all individual to each person, right? And as they come, they'll have their own private list. But beyond the private list, right, there was one of my clients who loved my work, you know, and she said, you should be known all around the world and have access to this all around the world. And yes, it should be. Elohim and embodied, rewriting the Akash, it should be, you know. So she was saying, why don't we do this? Because she made products, right? And she loved the codes and understood how powerful they were. So what we did was devised a way that I give her the codes and she puts them on the items, because it's a way to say, you see the pillow?
Yes.
It says health there with a little heart. I don't know if you could see it, right? So this is a pillow.
Yeah.
And it has a zipper, so if it gets dirty, and it has the codes on it. And in the back, this emblem is an emblem. You see, when I do my automatic writing and such, this was like infinite love, which is my emblem that spirit always would sign off for me in, infinite love for me, right? So this, of course, then holds the pillow of me, my essence as well, right, of creation, helping bring it to you. Now, the codes do not ignite until someone does the exchange fee and rate, right? So they can give that pillow, let's say, to someone who this would be too woo-woo, let's say, to them, right? But you know how someone may put a gem or something else in someone's space? You could put this pillow with an older parent. You could put it with kids, you know what I mean, in your own space. So that's why then you're putting that high energy in that space that's going to be holding and emanating it out in your office or whatever, right? There's mugs. So, of course, you would drink it in, and the person you give the mug to, there's a code for love, abundance, right? Health, prosperity in general, you know, code. So this is actually another pillow that says wow, because I'm like the hummingbird, right? Quick, 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 and wow, because everyone around the world can only say wow, like after a session. And this is just another bigger pillow that they can put the codes on. Now, I have the shirt, which one of my clients, when she initially got it, they have shirts and t-shirts for men and women, and she said, it's so soft, I never want to take it off. And she took a picture of herself, and there's 2 pillars of light on both sides, because she feels, she's like, oh my God, the energy in that. There's candles, there's yoga, a yoga mat, there's a blanket. You see the pants, how sweet, how cute, with the heart on it, so people can hang out in their house and have the energy. This is a love code, right, upon them, or assist someone else with it, so they don't have to have, let's say, the awareness of it, right? You're giving them this, so they're receiving that. And then for the people who receive my works, they love this because, yes, they have the codes, but then they're having this also to help them as a tool, right, in their environment as they're going about their life and such, you know. This was another one, see, like a t-shirt example. There's the code, I think that one was like abundance, right? So, and then in the front, it has my emblem and my name and such, but you could get the code in the front or the back or a small little emblem. Those are just some of the things. There's so many things there. And they would go to Etsy.com, let me see, Etsy.com/shop/sacred key codes. And there's so many items there, and also Zazzle sacred key codes, you know, mugs, hats, candles. You know, now in New York, actually, they're having soon that you can't have the plastic bags, right, all around so many places. So here you have a tote bag. You could pick a red handle, an orange handle, and that has the energy too. Or you could put a code on it. So if you're shopping and whatever you're doing, right, you know, and such, you have that, you know, to put your stuff in.
That's awesome.
Idea to help them with another tool to assist them while they're immersed in all of this that is going on. As far as I'm concerned, there's not enough tools, right? You want to have as many tools to help one. And so this really means beyond a session, you know, not beyond, but in addition to, or however they would like to do it. Because some people may be like, oh, I don't want one of those sessions, but you can say, here, take this mug, here's a shirt for you, or here's, you know, a blanket, or here's a pillow, that they will then receive and hold the space, you know, or even in their own space. So that's
so what kind of codes are available?
Love, abundance, health, prosperity. There's an in general code, so they could apply it to whatever they like. There's a couple of different codes on there. So I would deliver them to her. They get ignited when the person purchases it and gets it. and then they have it. And I think there's like sometimes there's a discount on there on sometime they have discounts as well,
Right.
like that they could put in if that's available for them as well. But thank you, Laura, for allowing me to share that with people.
Oh, you're welcome. Because I saw it on Facebook at some point, right? I saw it come up on Facebook, and I saw the picture of the woman with the light pillars around her.
Yes, so you saw it, so you know
I did.
exactly what I mean. She sent it to me, and she was so surprised herself because she was just trying to send me an image. Oh, Audrey, I got the top, and she's like, oh my God. She goes, look what happened in the image, you know?
Yeah.
There's so many things. I don't know if you can see, there's like a yoga mat, there's candles, a cap, there's shirts, long sleeves, short sleeves for men, for women, for kids, you know, so many things on there, you know, so they could partake of that. And you're so sweet for allowing them to have this so they can also. It's someone said it's on Amazon. It's actually on an Etsy shop and a Zazzle shop. And if you put in the sacred key codes is what it is, it'll come up. You know, thank you, Alara. You're so sweet that Alara and I are. And for me, it's not even. It just like goes back into the products. You know, it's not even like there's a monetary or anything. So thank you, Alara, so much for sharing it. It just goes back.
You're welcome. Yeah, no, I thought it was cool. I thought it was
shipped out and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think it's cool and it's neat, and it's like something else people can have in their space or wear, you know, which is that can help, right? So that's what it's about. It's about you know, bringing tools that can help people to create the life that they desire, to have more ease, have more abundance, have more prosperity, whatever it is, you know. But it all comes down to coming back to who you truly are, coming back to your soul, coming back to your essence, you know. And I think that when you do that, when you really focus on coming back to your heart and to your soul and your essence, then I think everything around you starts to also improve. But the focus has to be first on that, right?
Exactly. That's what we were saying before. If you're just thinking of monetary, my love, give me a message from some other being, that's still playing at this level. This is at source, your soul, your true beingness. You work on that. You do that work, do the releasing, the upgrades, the understanding that's your true treasure. Then it ripples in, as you said, to the physical and to the other things, right? Because you're being in that beingness. And there's many things here that don't want you, right? They want you to stay dumbed down. They've made the whole world, painted the whole world for you, that you walk in and think it is real, but it's been painted, right? Or stitched or weaved, you know, for you, that is an illusion that you think is real to hold you down and keep you dumbed down, right? That's stepping into that. So we're coming in to assist you. And the thing that I love about the items is that, as I said, language has been contaminated, right? For preconceptions, ideas, right? To keep you looping, right? Like I say, speed bumps and potholes in the road. Symbols have been contaminated. Thusly, we spoke about the beautiful swastika, what happened. So these numbers on these items and the work, if they come and receive it and have their own private list as well, are beyond the contamination. And that's why we say, why a code on a pillow? Because it's beyond a symbol or language or anything like that that's been contaminated to deliver to them the numbers holding that energy, which are actually, each number is also an equation. But rather than us write equations, you know, or spiraling energy, the numbers are delivering that and holding it for them in a non-contaminable way, which is a beautiful thing that creation has brought this through the number codes and the number language to assist.
Absolutely. And the personal session with you for the with the number codes, I mean, that is really powerful. And it's like, it's not anything that I could have imagined. And it's something that, you know, once you do it with Audrey, it's not just one number, it's like page and page of numbers, and you're writing them down, and then you have them forever, which then you can always go back and read them again when you're in the process of creating, manifesting, or if you're feeling stuck or whatever it happens to be. But it's not just a one-time thing. It's a tool, it's a living tool that you use, right?
Exactly. If, let's say, there's something negative happening, you want to dispel that. You want that to be dispersed, right? Dissolve it. You need fortification to help you to get through that, right? As you're dissolving it and such. So read the numbers on that issue. It'll help support you in that. You want to bring abundance. You want to bring manifestation. You want to create something that you're going to create. You read the numbers to help support you, those energies that it holds in that. or again, just read them in general out, the numbers, the private numbers that they would get that is applying to them in their lives, in their essence of being, that would help support that in that, them in that. I've had people who was an empath and she felt attacked out there, you know, by all that is going on. She had the numbers received, her own list. She kept them in her purse, you know, and she said, oh my God, I was able to go out and I wasn't attacked by all that. Or they put them under their pillow or their bed for sleeping and such, and they feel so, you know, so much better in when they're going about the things that they're doing, or not attacked, say, to sleep and such, you know. So it's applied in so many ways. Someone who was so confused and didn't know where to live or what job or what to do, this helped make motion and movement in their life out of that stuckness in that situation. So it is a very powerful tool that they can partake of. And thank you for allowing me to come here to share that with them. Should I speak a little bit of numbers just so they can get an idea about it?
That'd be
But this
great.
is the thing I want to tell them. When they write them, and they're writing them because it's working with also their neural networking, right? Because see, I read the message from source, and yet they're still coming here and asking the same questions of their neural networking and their belief system and old habits and what they've been ingrained in life upon life, right? And we want to break that up to change it. So the numbers help work with the neural networking, right? So they can get out of that cemented, ingrained, same old, right? For new neural networks to be made. So it's a number of things, right? The DNA, it's huge what the numbers are applied to and working with. When I say them now, I'm going to say them quick. That's how I do it at the end of a session. But when someone is writing them, we go much slower, right? So don't be put off to think, how the heck does she think I'm going to write them and follow her? No, when they write them, it's slow, and we go over it as many times, 2 or 3, whatever they would need to make sure they receive their series properly. So no problem with that. Okay, so I'm going to speak a little bit of number language for all of you with light language and Akash perhaps mixed in. So here we go. Unevona sintonea, beru sontenianea, borontonevi, senupeptonea, boronsontaneanea, emenikasha, kakuyamekasha, unepertuna mashara, partum, batuntenunananea, beru sontaneanea. Oui, ça s'y, le panton, les longs, chéris. Et ma saru parture. Essa si. Countdown to open it. 876, 876, 1, 2718, 2718, 1 away, 3 away, 3 away, 3 6, 4 away, 4 away, 5 away, 5 away, 5 away, 5 6, 6 away, 6 away, 56, 7 away, 7 away, 7 away, 76, 76, 8 away, 8 away, 8 6, 9 away, 9 away, 11 away, 11,000, 8,000, 8,000, 8 kasha na kaki kasha, una haname kasha, unepe ishkut up the galactic cosmic multidimensional use working on now. Ishkut kishkut up Kia esa si shares esa si shares esa say when I'm on a sunny venona in the middle sea Venezuela sea I say isa makasha kakuya makai ikia esa si shari esa 108, which is 9 nines of completion to seal it. 108, 108, 108, 108, 108, ashahontia ishkatumtia partum esa si varturiam say esa si shem esa si fairies, touch that inner child.
Thank you. Oh, Randy, thank you so much. Randy just posted in the chat. He said one thing he was asking was about what can you read or share about my relationship with crystals or nature? And then he was also mentioning about Judith had asked for help with her hearing. And I've lost that chat because I got kicked out a couple of times. She had asked for help with her hearing.
Okay, so again, I hope that if the people can come and receive the numbers in the session, that would be beautiful, because they're going to have their own works private. This is 90 minutes. A lot goes on in 90 minutes, right? All this coming through, chatting with me, beings of light. Beautiful one, we're here with you. Yes, we do not want to miss the opportunity, dear Laura. Yes, 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 to say hello to you and all your beautiful listeners. We thank you, dear one.
Oh, thank you.
It's the opportunity for our channel to share this message. You understand? They wish to have messages. They wish to say, speak to this one. What does this one? What does that one have to say to us? She brings through their creator creation that they're emanating from, and yet it is as if they do not hear it. Yes, if we say we shall give them manifestation of this or that, or this angel or master, they will come. Yes, and they will want to hear this. You see, we say to you, Laura, what has happened in this experiment of forgetting. They cannot hear the voice of their creator creation that is emanated from, but the other aspects, which are those beingness expressed from creator to play those parts, yes, to support the creator creation in forgetting, and yet they cannot even hear, yes, their creator when it is speaking to them, because they have been so immersed in what has been over and over, yes, cemented in those other beings to hold them down and dumbed in forgetting. You understand? When empowerment comes to them, they cannot see and hear it and understand it. So do you see, we say thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
What is so important, the one that does the work as you, and channel that is of caliber. You understand, not only for monetary of business, spirituality has become monetary business as religion has. No, this is for truly to free them. Yes?
Yes.
The monetary is, say something secondary than what they have made it as the number one point that is not to be. It is for the exchange of the value that is given to them, yes, but not the first point of the monetary. It is to free them and to heal them. You understand, beautiful one? And so we thank you for allowing our channel to come through, and us, beautiful one. Yes, yes, yes. What channel calls the beings of light who do not know us, yes, but that is not our name, you see. We are energy, frequency, vibration of consciousness, of expression, of creator, creation, and remembrance of what we are. So we thank you, beautiful one, and we shall return it to channel. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, now it's me, for that woman with the hearing, okay? Shem ahun erharturam. Tone ise ire vahsha. Tone pe ise kanupa hosheri verturama. Tone ise pahuta osh arurema. Kone vi se pi etu shelepantore vir yom sai. Tone bahosa ush ahumtia piate umtie. Shana mahontia up erume say biasha hontie canto cantio cantio washahon ihum yehiam isi. Thank you for Randy to bring that through for her.
Yeah.
Yes. Randy has been part of this communities for a very long time, I know. So this today, speaking of the newness, not to say what do they have to say to me and say to me. He wants to speak about crystals. You know, I have been called by the crystals themselves, because there's information about how eons and eons ago, right, whatever went on in manipulation to put within them something that is, I would say, also parasitic plague and such to infect them, right, and all that has gone on, which was never meant for them to be partaken of. So they have called me, as the work that I do, the crystals and the crystal skulls, to come in and to clear them and to do work with upgrading and such. So they're also in resonance, right, with the new, to come along with that. And so I have done so through a skull that emanated to the rest, and the crystals to emanate to the rest. Yeah. So I would say to him, rather than to be thinking again, giving his power over to something else, yes, what's the message from it to him? How about him, right, as the creator beingness and remembrance, what he's going to do with those as tools, right, to assist himself or whatever, because if that's his joy that he wants to play in that way with them, that is fine, that is beautiful. But again, I'm offering a way, which are the number language of creation, the number of language of creation. People speak geometrics and all of this. What do you think makes up the sacred geometrics and everything else? Yes, the numbers of creation which hold that. Yes, the numbers of creation. So you want to choose to play with crystals, go ahead, but the newest up thing on the cutting edge is numbers, codes that hold the energy, you understand, that makes up all of creation. So it's everyone's own choice, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep, for sure. And, you know, everything that you use is a tool. It's just a tool, but you still are an aspect or spark of divinity, an aspect of creator. So you don't really need a tool. Like, don't make that your crutch, but but it can be a tool to help, but
yes.
It's not your crutch.
Thank you so much for saying that, because it is the time to throw away the crutches and the training wheels, right? Because we are it, right? We don't need the gurus anymore, this, that, and the other thing. We are only receiving those things that are helping us, right? Like the numbers, which are a tool of the newest upgraded thing that creation has brought through to help others till they get to that point. Not a crutch or a training wheel. A tool is something we use to help bring us, right, the benefit of using the tool until we understand that we are the true magic, right? Not this falsehood, this illusion, false magic. We are the magic. So then once one is at that point, they don't need any tools because they are it. This is just assisting them until they get there. Like now they use my higher self, the angels, the galactics, the masters, tools. All tools, right? Belief systems and such, right? But these are tools to truly empower one, so they get there where they don't need any tools because they're standing in their essence of their beingness, right? So that's what we're doing.
Awesome. Thank you. And yeah, those numbers sequences are, like I said, they're like, it was a short sequence today, like nothing, like, but when you get your personal numbers done, it's a long sequence. So it's quite powerful. And just on the page, it's powerful. It vibrates, just on the page, it vibrates, so it's definitely something that, if you haven't done it yet, you definitely want to invest, especially since we have offered it at a much lower rate than before. So if you can take advantage of that, I would highly recommend it, because I've had it done, I think twice, right? At least twice. And it is quite powerful, life-changing. So I think it's time for me to get mine done again, because I need
Yes, we have to do
change.
that. We keep saying that, but we're both so busy. Just so people understand, what happens is they are so powerful, and people who feel, sometimes they're like, and oh my goodness, they really can't find words to talk, right? Like you were yawning and such, because we bring it in, it's very powerful, but they need time to acclimate, let's say, to the energies they received, right? And then they have these numbers, their tool. So you can't do it all at one time. Each energy bracket is like 1,000, 2, 3, 4, 8, 9, 10, right? The frequency being brought in. When I work in existence, of course, the numbers and the codes go huge, right? But we're still dealing with the physicality that we needed to acclimate, not blow it up, or not being able for it to function.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to function. So it is powerful, but yet still so they can function. And it's like 10 or 12 numbers, depending how they write it on a line, going through a page front and back, or maybe even another page, depending on what people can receive at that first initial receiving of them. So it is many numbers,
Yeah, because I know that, like, the first time I did it, and then the second time the numbers got upgraded, so there were a higher level of the numbers.
Yes, the frequency bandwidth to jump up higher and higher and higher, pouring that back into you in the light of you. Remember, we had our DNA. We were creator beings. There's a beautiful story some people talk about out there, how we were Excalibur, right? So if anything came negative or such, Excalibur, that's it. It's dissolved, because that's a parasitic thing coming to affect you. It is no more. We're not going to be part of this story. Just bye-bye, no more, right? Or how powerful the humans are, that others that were afraid of them dumb them down as creator beings, because humans were able to just molecularly dissolve another being if it was something that was infected with a parasitic plague of forgetting. So this way, it was not able to run out of hand, right? But because no longer Excalibur, no longer, right, being able to dissolve like that, the dumbing down of the DNA and the forgetting and all of that, that parasitic plague, right, run amok, right, throughout creation, right? And so it's time to bring it in, and to close the book on that. It has been written and written over and over and over. There's nothing else for creation to get from that, and that's why it is obsolete. And we are here helping and assisting those to get out of that. See how ingrained their beliefs are? So we want to help them get out of that ingraining. My work says the crevasse that they have built for their own self, walking the path over and over. Crevasse is a slippery slope, right? You need like a hand up out of it. And that's what you are assisting. I'm assisting, right? So when they stand on the edge, they can remember that which they are,
Yeah. And once you remember what you and who you truly are, and stay in that space and stay in that state, I think it's powerful. It's like, and
that's the thing, what you're saying, stay in the space. You see, remember my dock, Alara, that I always talk about, and it's so worth saying, right? Right, we're on the dock, like a dock that moves up and down, not steady in the water with the pylons, a moving dock, which is
a floating dock.
Water. Say again?
A floating dock.
Yes, the floating. So it goes up and down with the water. It's going up and down with the energy because we are being hit with the tsunami of energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're on there balancing. Not only are we balancing, trying to be on this dock moving up and down, we're juggling at the same time, which is the physical responsibility to self and others and the spiritual, right? So sometimes we get thrown off the dock, right? Into the water, or there's things that want to pull at our ankles to pull us in, right? Other beings and such around us, if we're stable, wanting to try to get us through others, right? To move us off of the safety and the dock. So if we're in the water, it's okay, the energy, because we're human, we came to feel. But the point is, you feel and you say, okay, I'm going to get back to the stability of that dock and balance and juggle. Because if not, you are down a rapids, a waterfall,
Yeah.
representation of being tossed and turned, entangled in those energies and held by also those things that are within the energy that want to eat off of one, right? Rather than get back to the dock, right? Which takes that watching and witnessing and observing of oneself, how they act, react, right? So thus that changing of that, catching themselves, witnessing themselves, right? So they can act, react differently and remain empowered. Because years ago when I began, it was told to me, this is a tsunami, right? That is coming and occurring, right? And it's occurring over a period of time, right? There is no time, but in physicality.
Mm-hmm.
So if people will take part in these works, it will assist them to, rather than feel like someone who's picked up and thrown in a cold body of water, the shock to their system, they can instead wade slowly into it, acclimating themselves so as not to be such a shock to their system, you know? And we could see out there the world and what is going on. Hi.
1 second, Anthony. Hold on 1 sec, okay?
We can see the world and all that is going on out there, and it is going to be occurring even more. A lot of people overwhelmed by these energies, right? So these
Whoops.
stand in that, so they can stand in the face of all of this, you know, not affected and tossed and turned and tangled off the dock, you know, and such. Hi, Anthony. Anthony is a beautiful client of mine, a friend who also has done the work, devoted to the work for many, many years, that he himself, as a result of the work, speaks light language as well. Many people, their gifts and abilities, you know, come online, and that is a thing to also help them and to put that out there into existence, you know. So does he want to say anything? He made
Anthony, do you want to say something? You can unmute yourself now. Or I can unmute you if you want. No, I can't for some reason. Anthony, if you want to unmute yourself. Maybe.
In the corner, there's a little mute.
Yeah, I can't. I mean, he did it before, but and for some reason I can't unmute him, so he'll have to do it if he wants to say something.
There's something, I think, in the left-hand corner, a mic, that if it's across in it, it's muted.
Mm-hmm.
If you...
Yeah. And if not, because I think he's in the car. It sounds like he's in the car.
All right.
Maybe it's not.
So he maybe just wants to partake. Yes, I'm so glad he's partaking of the beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. No, and thank you. And you know, that whole analogy of the dock, you know, and falling off the dock and getting, you know, tumbled and thrown and like all that wonderful stuff. It's sometimes hard to get back on the dock, and that's sometimes, you know, even for that, sometimes you need help just to get back on the dock, right?
Because there are those forces that I said within that want to keep you tossing and turning and unbalanced and sad and upset and broken and disappointed, right? So they can feed off of those energies and the manipulation. So of course it's hard. You're being tossed and tangled and held energetically, right? In that, when you're trying to break free from that. And that's why sometimes people think, why do you think I'm called healer to the healers? Sometimes healers cannot even do it, their own selves, right? So to heal it to everyone, that they need a helping hand, because there's certain things sometimes that they themselves cannot disentangle, or take such a more longer time to handle it, that one who is coming in made to cut that, pull that out, right? Generational lineage and stuff. Things that they could never even be aware of because it's generational and so far back, or ancestry, right? Or in the unconscious, the subconscious that I work, Or how do you know, like people are always saying, oh, I want to do I don't even know what the word is, like we want to focus on one thing, you know, that you would put the word in intention. And I'm like, why do you want to do an intention when you cannot possibly know what to intend that was generational, ancestral, unconscious, subconscious, or from happening from another aspect of you that needs to be handled, right? So you're going to put your intention, which is going to leave out all the other stuff that might be the whole reason why you're experiencing this rippling in from the other things that you have no awareness to focus on in your intention to say. So in my work, we go to all the things that need to be handled, but then one intention, which opens to limitation, you understand, of the other things that they would not even know in their conscious human mind, so to say, to ask for, you know,
Right.
or even in a seer may not see this, you know, thing because it's so huge. Our story, eons and eons of time looping in all these energies, it's huge. So it takes investment of one, you know, to untangle from that and free themselves of that. And while they free their own self, they are freeing their generational lineages with the work that I do at the same time. What a blessing. People are always like, what's my purpose? What's my purpose? I'm like, oh my goodness. You have many, like, give me a message. What's my purpose? Look, I'm going to tell you now. You have many purposes, right? One, to be an embodiment, to enjoy having a physical body and vessel, which is a gift. You don't always have that, right? To express through, to taste, to touch, to smell, right? To play in it, in a physicality. Another thing is to untangle, take the opportunity. This embodiment is allowing you to do this work, to untangle from this, help your generation, help yourself, help the other aspects of you, which this ripples through here. It's not happening there, it's happening here, ripples out to that, right? Heal your inner child, right? Multiple things. Then a big thing. You are here in embodiment. You heard the clarion call to be here to hold the light. Well, you can look around, so many other people still sleep, or what's going on out there with the parasitic plague, who's lost in distraction of religion, spirituality, what the world is painting the picture for them for. You come in to hold the light, right? While all that is going on, because you have begun and you are having these awarenesses of the bigger picture of things that you are. So you've come to hold the light while all this change is taking part, right? And then you are also a spark of divinity in expression, knowing itself through the unique you, only way that you can be, which adds to the body of creation. Creation is powerful. There's much discord in creation because it's so powerful. We come in as aspects of that to bring the balance within that discord, yes? So beautiful things can be experienced right out of the discord, yes? To a balance, not a discord in a symphony that sounds like this, to a beautiful symphony being played, right? Return to that for creation, right? To express through. That's many purposes, right? That we want. That's why I say juggling, right? Many balls, you know, and to see and remember what they are, an empowered spark of divinity. It may not seem like it, what you're going through, but remember, many things are hold you down for life upon life, eon upon eon, aspect upon aspect, right? That you are, right? Disempowering you, dumbing you down. This, right? Old beliefs, old paradigms, right? Number 5, no more of that. To 7, the truth. Right?
Yeah.
What you are. And these things are giving you the opportunity to take part in that.
Awesome. Beautiful. Thank you. My goodness. We talked about so many different things on this call and so much wisdom. I'm just like, I'm sure you saw me nodding, so many times, right? Because like, yes. Keep saying this, keep talking about this, because this is the truth. This is what we need to hear. This is what we need to act upon, right? Moving forward. So
thusly, Alara, why they gave me this message, right? I'm just thinking I'm doing my class, right? I'm getting ready for the show. And then I'm like, oh my goodness, I had to write this. And you see, there was actually 10 pages.
Wow.
10 pages are 1, divinity, because you had divinity, source, creation, right? Speaking to you, very much saying at the end, that's all there is me. There is the no thing, the nothing, which all things come from, which I am, which you are. Right? How much more of a treasure can we deliver to them, Alara, than this realization being spoken? Not just an angel master galactic, right? But source creation, which is all of them, an expression to talk to them, to come and assist them. And no coincidence by on your show, because you're saying yes, because some out there would not say yes, because they're so immersed in perpetuating the old way of belief, which is not going to get us. We've done it for eons of time. Has it gotten us anywhere else? So we're still in this situation that we need to pull up the rug, pull the wool from our eyes, and have all of creation be safe as it's traveling through its creation than a parasitic thing of forgetting, needing to keep them as a life force and a sustenance and a battery for them, that we're not playing that anymore. You know, this is not only here on Earth and humanity. People say Earth, Gaia, humanity. Yes, beautiful. But you know what? We not only want to clean up a portion of the playground or the park or the neighborhood. This is something that has been going on through existence, right? This thing playing out for eons of time. So we have to affect the totality of existence, right? The whole playground, the whole neighborhood, right? To affect change, which is what we're speaking of, is that stitching it, weaving it, igniting it, right? Inoculating with a good inoculation into creation. So that is helped, supported, and maintained to bring forth, not people who think they are doing well and meaning well, but are yet only perpetuating the same. So then their hands are actually dirty because they are still sustaining that and maintaining that. Yes. Then the new education, re-education, right, to go forth. So there's not that pull, right? People are hungry. They understand something's going on. They go out there to seek help and be educated, and yet all they're being educated and still in the old, right? Which that's why there's distraction of spirituality, right? We want the real awakening, the real re-education, the real spirituality, right? Which is what we've been speaking of on this call. And there's no question why it came through for you and your audience in today. And I hope I will be meeting so many of them, taking advantage of these numbers and the light language and the rewrite of the Akash. That this
absolutely. Yeah.
For them. And the opportunity to speak to the beings of light. Yes, beautiful one. We do look forward to when we shall be speaking with all of you. Yes, 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 dear one. And again, we thank you, Alara. So, yes, beautiful one. We thank you. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you.
Now it's me again. Now.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Audrey. This has been beautiful. I know we've gone long and we had some technical glitches, but we know it was an amazing, amazing conversation. So thank you.
Oh my goodness. And thank you so much for allowing this to get out there, because it's so important. And I hope there's going to be like a replay where maybe some people can go and hear it. And
absolutely. The replay will go out a little bit later in a couple of hours.
Beautiful. I love you so much. Thank you to beautiful listeners who are listening, and everyone who will be listening in on the replay and such. And please, if they need to do it again, I know I said it very quickly, but I knew we only had a certain amount of time. And so if they have to listen to it again, to listen to that message and get it, this empowerment, this gift from their creator that they are sparks of, right? Another aspect of their own self, right? Coming to assist them and take the things off their eyes and off their ears, right? So they can be in resonance with the new. Listen to it how many times when you post it if they need to, so they can, that's energy, as you said. They're hearing words, but energy.
Exactly. It's energy. Absolutely. Yeah. And I want to thank all the people who posted questions and comments and feedback. Thank you so much, because we, brought forth so much information and wisdom and energy at the same time based on your questions. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Just powerful. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Audrey, the beings of light, and thank you, Creator, for such a wonderful call. And I'm just so grateful and so blessed to be able to share in this with all of you. So thank you, and until next time, may you continue to be blessed with an abundance of joy, peace, love, happiness, prosperity, and radiant health. Sending you all much love and blessings always.
Much love, beautiful ones.
Bye for now.